Hello, and welcome to an exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host, and I'm welcoming you to my review of The Contender from 2000. We are returning back to DreamWorks, as you can see right here. Yep, we're returning back to DreamWorks with a political thriller released in the year of 2000. I believe it was October 2000, if I can remember. So The Contender is a movie I know about. I have seen the cover before on the back of the scene index card of Almost Famous. So I remember this movie coming out, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be At first, I thought this was a slasher picture because of the cover, the design of the cover. But no, this is a political thriller. So what did I think of this political thriller that came out in the early 2000s? I gotta tell you guys, this is a masterpiece. Sorry about the glare, guys, so I do apologize. So what do I think? Yeah, like I said, let's talk about why The Contender is a masterpiece. So let's go ahead and talk about it right now. The vice president is dead. As the president makes his choice for a replacement, a secret contest of willing is being waged by the formidable rival when Senator Lane Henderson is nominated as the first woman in history to hold the office. Hidden agendas explode into a battle for power. This was at a time. This was not to get political. This was the idea of having a woman as a VP way before Kamala Harris ever ran for that position. And we all know, not to get political, we all know Harris would eventually become the first female VP. So I kind of want to bring that out, not to be political. Let's talk about the cast as well, because I forgot to talk about the cast. So this movie stars Gary Oldman, Joan Allen, Jeff Bridges, Christian Slater, William Peterson, Philip Baker Hall, Saul Rubinak, and Sam Elliott, along with Mariel Hemingway in a small role near the end of the movie. This is a stacked cast. Talk about a stacked cast. So right at the beginning, the film opens with Peterson, who plays Jack. Sorry about that, guys. He plays Jack. I can't think of his last name. So he's fishing with another guy. So we see a car fall right into the water. So what does he do? He jumps right in the water, takes a dive right in the water to save the woman. So it turns out that he's running for the Democratic position. Bridges plays the president. Also, the reason I also picked this out is because, well, it's the time to record it. It'll be after President's Day. So in honor of President's Day week, I thought this was a perfect movie to decide. But back to The Contender. So right off the bat, Bridges is the president, so he meets up with Jack. He also has his other assistant, Kermit, played by Sam Elliott, and he's the assistant. So Joan Allen is Lane Henderson. Hanson. I keep thinking Henderson. It's Hanson. So he chooses her. This is around the time when the vice president. This was the first time we ever see the vice president that just passed on. So he's telling her, "Hey, do you want to run? Do you want to be my VP?" And they're not too sure about a woman becoming a VP. So Gary Oldman plays another guy who meets up with Congressman Christian Slater. Can't think of his name, and I can't think of the character that Oldman plays. Honestly, as I was watching the film, I didn't even know that was Gary Oldman. I was like, that hair and that makeup, I was like, wow. Gary Oldman is a severely underrated actor. You can put him in a ton of makeup and you couldn't even recognize. That's how good the makeup crew is. He's an actor that can go and become any character, and it works. And here he plays a guy that says, no, having a woman is not a real good idea. So, Sam Elliott, yes, this is the Sam Elliott without the mustache. Yes, he doesn't have a mustache because every Sam Elliott movie has always had a mustache. Kind of similar to another actor who went with the clean shaving, Powers Booth. If you look at a movie like Sudden Death, he has literally no mustache. Powers Booth's character in that movie. Sam Elliott's another one who, and according to the director, he got the role. He wasn't sure about shaving the mustache, but then he was fine with that, and he plays a whole different character. I think all these people play different characters. So, again, and it's just this sort of political thriller. I was watching one featurette and they're comparing it to a couple political thrillers. All the President's Men, Parallax View, The Candidate, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, all these political movies from the past time, and even stuff from the 90s like Wag the Dog and Bulworth, many of these other political movies that deal. But I love this movie. I love the characters. I just love how behind the scenes of what the job of a president. In today's world, compared to the presidential seat, not to get political, guys, and not trying to turn this movie review into a political review, even though it is a political thriller, guys. I just kind of want to bring it up. Compared to the day and age with politics, this movie is super relevant as if it was back in 2000. It makes you think, and the ending, my gosh, that speech that Joan Allen says in that movie, my jaw was literally like, I was like, okay. And without giving much away, what happens to William Peterson is also another scene that made me think. This is a pretty tough R-rated movie. There is the scene alone, not to spoil anything, where he literally says, "You effed up." And it's so good. Like, everything about if you're familiar with Chappaquiddick, similar to Teddy Kennedy and Chappaquiddick, the beginning is similar to, the opening scene is similar to Chappaquiddick. Joan Allen is fantastic. Mario Hemingway, who has a small role, she plays the ex-wife of the one guy, I can't think of his character's name, but she's good in this. She should have been in it even more in the film. And the characters sort of crisscross, and we don't know what's going to happen. This is reasons why I've been really getting into these sort of political films, movies about politics, and I just think the movie works well. Trying to think of anything else that I know in the movie. I do like Christian Slater, as I said. I think the whole cast is just fantastic. It keeps you glued to the very end, similar to another movie that I had seen before that I reviewed on the channel, Nightcrawler. Another one that keeps you glued till the end of the film, till the end of the movie. I love The Contender. This movie to me is, the performances top notch, acting stellar. I think it's a perfect movie. I haven't found any flaws with the movie, and I'm trying to think if there is any flaws with the movie. And I love the speech she gives about how she said about how I'm going to kind of bring this up, and I don't really like to bring this up, but there's a scene where Joan Allen speaks to a bunch of people. I don't know what they do. They speak to the senators in Congress, and Gary Oldman tells that she supports a woman's decision, but he doesn't support that, comparing to, I don't want to say it is, but he was comparing something to the Holocaust, and just comparing, I'll get it out of the way right now, I hope I don't get a strike, abortion. They talk about abortion in the one scene, but he compares that sort of like the abortion of the Holocaust. So that scene alone can be hard for some people to watch. But I tell you, what she says in that speech about how she doesn't support the death penalty, she talks about the forefathers, just the scene where her son meets the president, her mom is the vice, and the scene where Slater goes and walks around and sees all the portraits makes me think of the way that this world is today and how past presidents have done that. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Again, I'm talking about a political thriller, and I don't know why I'm mentioning most of these. But everything about this movie is so good. Like, performances-wise, I think the person who steals the show is probably, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is the best, is easily the best part. When he gives that State of the Union address near the end of the movie, it is so good and powerful. The cover kind of misleading. I was thinking this was going to be a slasher movie because of the front cover showing the eyes, but I was wrong the whole time. And I think I heard about this movie through Eburn Roper, and I was intrigued there. They even gave it 2 enthusiastic thumbs up. There's that featurette I talked about how they compare it to tons of other political thrillers. Everything about this movie is good. So I think that's what I'm going to mention about it. At the end of the day, please see The Contender. This is a must-see movie. If you're like me and you're really, really into like political thrillers like All the President's Men, Parallax View, The Paradox View, or Candidate, or any of those political movies, or heck, even like a movie like JFK that Oliver Stone made in the early 90s. This movie is a must-see. Please see The Contender. Best movie I watched this year, and definitely going to be on my 10 best list at the end of the year. It's still early, guys, but I can tell you this is going to have that spot. This is by far my favorite movie, my favorite DreamWorks movie I covered this year. Something about this movie is good. Performances, all should get Oscar caliber performance. The guy who directed this, I forgot to mention the director. This is directed by Rod Lurd. I haven't pronounced that name right. He recently directed a movie for Angel Studios called The Senior, and he directed another movie I have in my collection, The Last Castle. So he has directed a few well-known movies, but if you've not seen The Contender, this movie is so good from start to finish. So yeah, let's go ahead and rate it right now. I'm gonna give The Contender. You obviously know what this is, guys. This is gonna be, guys, an automatic 5 out of 5. There's just something about this movie that's just keeps you glued to the very end. Performances, everything about it. Though I forgot to mention that some of it was shot mostly. It was filmed on location in Virginia. In fact, there's a scene where she's jogging, and it was filmed entirely at the Arlington National Cemetery. So I wanted to bring that up before I forget about that. But this movie just nails it. Performances, phenomenal. Story, great. Keeps you glued to the very end. Everything about this movie is just a masterpiece. And, oh, I forgot to mention Manchurian Candidate was the other political thriller that this was modeled after. So, yeah. Like I said again, so, yeah, 5 out of 5 for sure. So go check out Contender. Really, really, really phenomenal movie. I can't believe I missed out on this. Don't sleep on this, guys. It's just so good. And like I said, I can recommend to anybody. Anybody should see this movie if you really want to get into, if you really want to see political thrillers. In the day and age, in the day and age with this world going on, this movie is a must-see. So yeah, that's my review of The Contender. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the content on the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all the video notifications so you don't miss a single video on the channel. I'm also on Letterboxd, guys. You can check me out there as well. And like I said, in addition to Universal reviews, I also have my Vlog City series, collection updates, and tons of content on the channel. So like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to get the video notifications. So yeah, check out The Contender, guys. This is just so good. I can't believe I missed out on this movie because the cover just, I don't know, the cover didn't really sell me on this movie. I mean, sure, black background with eyes, why not? But then I was thinking this is probably a slasher movie, but I was wrong. It's a political thriller that needs to be seen by anybody, and definitely going to be on my 10 best list at the end of the year. So that's it, guys. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies.